Hello and welcome to the Courage Coalition. Today, I am excited to introduce you to our guest, Sadie Eversole. Sadie and I met at the beginning of this year. And what's funny is we recorded an episode prior to now, and it just wasn't meant to be. There was so many things wrong with the recording. I couldn't get them fixed. And then we both got busy with life, and it's taken quite a while to get back on and record again. But what I love about this is that it was probably all for a reason. Sadie has really grown in the last, it's been about 4 months since we did that original
I
recording, I
think
believe.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's done a lot of inner growing in that time. And I feel like sometimes that's exactly what we're waiting for, right? So welcome, Sadie, to the Courage Coalition.
Thank you for having me.
So Sadie is a mom of two, wife to a currently deployed husband. She's the owner of Heartland Fire, and you also work full time, don't you?
I do. I do. I'm a manager at a dog boarding facility. I'm a truck dispatcher, and I also do horse training on the side. So I got some client horses at home.
You are a busy, busy woman is an understatement. So I want to talk a little bit about before we talk about business, before we talk about faith, just kind of paint a picture for listeners about what life looks like right now at
Right
this
now,
season.
this harvest, honestly, we're farmers as well. And so it's just really busy. My whole family, they farm, they harvest, and they have cattle. And so right now, it's just me and my boys at home for the most part. We have a bunch of animals. My boys love to do chores. So by the time I get off work, we go home, we do all the chores. We have an emu and goats, horses, dogs, chickens, that kind of stuff. And so we're outside until it gets dark. We go in the house, eat some food, give them a bath, and we go down for bed. So that's kind of
Yeah.
our daily routine.
So when you think about that and when you describe that, how do you feel like courage lives in everyday life right now?
Right now, I don't think that I would be able to be as happy and uplifting as I am if I didn't have the courage that I have. Because
Okay.
I would be so sad if I did not have the courage because my husband's deployed. I could think of every little thing that has gone wrong in my life and just start being sad. But then again, I'm starting to look at all the good things that are going on in my life. And a lot of it's my courage. I have grown my courage and just my life for the better.
Yeah. Do you think that one of the ways that we can talk about courage is not necessarily about the big things, but really just taking the next best step each and every day?
Yeah. You got to do things step by step. You can't just jump into it. You can't just start here and you're going to finish. It's everything is a step by step process.
One next best step after the another. So let's talk a little bit about deployment and how it really shows up in the world, because I think that for a lot of people we're like so grateful, right? We're so grateful for the men and women that are serving our country. We're so grateful for their courage to leave their families, to go to a different country, to a different state, to wherever it is, be deployed for months on end away from everything that they know that's comfort for them, to help protect our country and keep us in a state of freedom. But I think very rarely do we take a moment to ask ourselves, what is the ones left at home feeling? What are the ones left at home managing? What are the ones left at home dealing with, right? Because they're still in their homes, they're still safe. So I want to talk a little bit about how it has felt to say goodbye as the wife. Sorry, to
You're fine.
say goodbye as the wife, but also to answer those questions and hold those babies of yours every day in their questions and in their fear, and just really what you want to share about that.
So I guess about a year ago is when, actually, probably what, back early of 2024 is when we first found out that he was getting deployed. And we didn't quite believe it. Um, it was kind of all just like, I'll believe it when I see it, when I hear it. Well, it gets closer, and it was the week before, and it was hard. We thankfully have a very good community, and they all lined the streets, and they were all waving goodbye to us. And we went on to Omaha and stayed overnight, and it was honestly one of the hardest things I'd ever have to do. Hardest. The hardest thing was seeing my little, at the time, he was 2, and he left at 5 a.m. And for some reason, my 2-year-old woke up and he just bawled and he cried and just hung on to his dad. And it's like he knew. But it was one of the hardest things ever. And nobody realizes that it's hard, not only on the service members, but the family as well. Yeah, you think it's hard, but then once you actually get to know the people and the families, then you're like, wow, it hits a lot different when you actually know someone that's in this position. Because it's not easy. And especially with the government shutdown right now. I mean, Kyle's over there serving our country and he's not getting paid right now. And it is
Yeah,
what it is. I mean, can't do anything about it.
absolutely. What do you feel like the hardest part about being a mom with someone that is deployed?
The hardest part about being a mom with someone being deployed is the mental breakdowns that the boys have. It is hard. They will go through days on being crabby, I mean, they'll see their dad in a video and then all of a sudden we hang up. It ruins their whole day. They cry, they scream. You can't get them to listen. All they want is their dad and they can't do anything. And I can't do anything. I just tell them, daddy loves you, honey. I'm really sorry. And I try to explain it to them, but they don't understand. They don't understand why daddy's not coming home, why he's not walking in the door. All they want to do is give him a hug and they can't.
Yeah.
And it's hard.
Have you found that any resource or tool that has helped you? Because this is his first deployment since they were
It is.
born, correct?
It is. He's been gone for a month, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month here, but never this long.
And how long is his deployment?
Um, Anywhere between 9 months to a year.
Okay.
So right now we are assuming he'll be back in January, February timeframe.
Okay. So you're on the end.
We are. We're on the downslope, and anytime something happens, my husband goes, "That's just one less thing I have to miss." And so we're thinking of it like we're in a positive way.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Exactly. So has there been a resource or a tool that you have felt that has just really helped you in this time that you would want to share with maybe other women or men who are the spouse staying home of someone deployed?
The Bible. The
Okay.
Bible has really helped me out. And I'm not a big reader. So I will throw in my headphones and I will put on an audio and I don't just like go through it throughout the day, but I actually try listening to it and putting it into my perspective. And the Bible has really helped me out. I mean, it has got me closer to God. It has got me closer to faith, has even got me closer to my husband, I believe, for how far
Mhm.
away he is.
Yeah.
I thank God for him every day.
Yeah. I love that. I love that because I think sometimes it's just the simple things of
It
of
is.
perspective, of perspective and the way we look at and envision the things that come our way. Um, so you guys have a business. This is a business that you and your husband run together. It's called Heartland Fire. So I would like to talk a little bit about it because I think it's a really important message that, again, we don't tend to think about enough. We don't think about how we could um, educate um, and give ourselves tools before the unimaginable. We always think, oh, I wish I would have, right? And so you guys have Heartland Fire. Tell us a little bit about Heartland Fire.
Yeah, so it's actually called Heartland Fire Safety. Um, nope. So what we do is we kind of go around to businesses, people's houses, families, and we try to prevent the awareness of fires, and not just fires, but carbon monoxide, water leaks, smoke. A lot of it is, mainly the smoke is what gets you. And so we try helping people to catch it ahead of time. If it happens, what to do in the emergency. And most people, they're like, you know what, we're fine. We're fine with losing the house, or we'll know it when it happens. But most of the time, it's when you're sleeping. And I hate reading these stories about, the mom and dad got out, but they couldn't go get their little kid in the house. And it just breaks my heart. And so Kyle and I decided, you know what, we're going to go spread the awareness, and we're going to see what we can do and save people lives.
So, did you guys have any background in it? I feel like, it's like you could just show up one day and just say, nope, we're going to help people. We're going to help share lives. Or, was there a story that really broke your guys' hearts and experience? And how did you feel like you had the education to go out and help other people become more educated?
So honestly, no, we had no prior experience. Thank you, though. I mean, I'm very, very thankful for that. But we had this guy come over to our house, and he did the exact same thing that we are doing. And he goes, we would love people to help us do this. And my husband and I were like, yes, we would love to. And so we went to conferences, we do meetings, and we learn more about the fire, about our products. And I guess that's just kind of how we started. And
Okay.
I would never go back. I don't want to take it for granted.
Yeah, I love that. I love just that step to that next best step, like you said, right? Like something called to your heart and you took that next best step.
Mhm.
So, as we've talked about this, we've talked about really, yeah, being the spouse of someone that's deployed, so your husband being deployed for the first time, stepping into a business, stepping into these roles and responsibilities is kind of this theme for what we've already heard, is that you're continually stepping into the next role or responsibility for the most part that have never been a part of your life. So, and a lot of people can't imagine even juggling it, right? It's like parenting is hard together. Oh my gosh, I can't imagine how it would be by myself. Life is hard together. I don't know what it would be like on my own, making all the decisions, right? Uh, you know, Life is hard, but I'm just going to take on one more thing and really help spread awareness about fire safety. What has surprised you most in these situations or in life about your strength that you really didn't understand maybe prior to having to step into these roles and responsibilities?
I didn't realize. Wait, okay, on. Can you say that one more time?
Yeah. What has surprised you most about your strength as you've had to step into these roles and responsibilities that maybe you weren't expecting or prepared for?
I wasn't expecting to be, honestly, a mom and a dad. That's kind of
Mm.
how I felt like it. I mean, now I got to kill the spiders. But in all reality, I just everything has shocked me. Doing all the chores. I mean, coming home, mowing the lawn. I live on 10 acres, doing all the chores, cleaning the house, doing getting the supper ready. Everything has shocked me because my husband has always been there to help me, and it is just crazy, and everything is just chaotic at the house right now.
But you guys continue to come together each evening and get
Yep.
it done, whether it's
Yeah.
perfect or not, because there is no such thing as perfection, whether it looks like what you thought it would look like or not, it's happening.
Yeah. We had this whole, hoping whole 2-year plan, and now we had to put everything on hold. And it'll start back up once my husband gets back. We'll start on our goals again, but we always list goals every month. Kyle and I would sit down, like, okay, this is our goal for this month. This is what we want to accomplish. And if we didn't, we're like, you know what? We're going to be better this month. We're going to get it done.
Yeah. So you talked a lot about how your faith has really grown this year. What's been the biggest shift in how you feel or see God through this season, and what do you kind of relate that back to?
I see the beauty. I see the beauty in literally everything. Like the Bible says, he created everything out of nothing, pretty much. And I just look at the sky and I'm like, gosh, I thank God for the sky. I thank God for everything I have. I thank my boys every day for God giving me them. And I thank my husband for, him and my boys. And just it has helped me tremendously through my journey of this deployment, because if it wasn't for God, I would be sad. I would be depressed and I wouldn't know where to do. I would be at home probably crying.
Yeah.
But right now I'm thriving.
Right.
I'm very much thriving.
So, so I guess what I take from that is just hope.
I'm sorry. I'm not good at giving one line answers.
No, that's okay. But I mean, I don't want to put words into your mouth too. Is that is God is just giving you something to feel hopeful about?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm very hopeful that my husband's going to come home safe. Yes, hope.
Okay. If a listener is in the season where you feel where they feel very stretched thin, because that's what we're talking about, is the ability to step forth even when we are stretched to a limit we didn't believe we could be capable of. What do you think, or what would be something you could tell them that would help them navigate towards that next best step whenever they're just feeling really, really depleted, for lack of a better word?
Take a step back and then take a deep breath, because I mean, God has you. It's not going to be a straight path. It's zigzags. I would definitely say close your eyes, take a deep breath and listen to the Bible. I mean really listen to it. Don't just say, "Nah, I read it." Like listen to it and listen to him. And some people aren't big on God.
Right.
No, they're not. And I do recommend getting closer to him, but if you can't for some reason, I would say take a deep breath and listen to what's in your gut, what's
I'm
in your
glad
heart.
that you brought that up because, you mentioned how in your belief that God created everything, which means he created you. And I think one of the most powerful things I've ever learned is that 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 flutter, that gut, like, oh, something doesn't feel right, that anything, the thought, the dream, anything that comes to you is for you on purpose, right? It is not just, I used to always do this, Corey, you're just silly. It's just a thought. A thought means nothing. You've got to actually have something to back it up with. But my thoughts don't come to anybody else. They come to me. And there's a reason for that. There's an intuition, there's a born purpose, for lack of a better word, that is born in each of us, no matter what you believe. Earth, world, God, doesn't matter, Buddha, doesn't matter what you believe. You were born on purpose, created on purpose. And so why do we always shortchange? Why do we always underestimate that feeling, that knowing, that knowledge that's always inside of us? So give us something in your life where you actually listened to intuition, listened to that knowing, and what happened because of it.
I'd say it was almost about a year ago. Um, I knew my husband was getting deployed, and my gut said, my sister called and she goes, "Hey, I'm going to go to this Unstoppable Summit. Do you want to come with?" And I said, "Yeah, I don't know. Let me think on it a little bit." And this is actually where I met you guys, but I wasn't going to. And then something in my gut, or my husband actually, he says, "You know what? I think you need to do it." And my gut's like, "I don't know." And then all of a sudden, something just kind of came to me, and I said, "Yeah." I told Shay, I said, "I'll do it." And then it was literally a month later, my husband then got deployed, or a month before I left, he got deployed. And I said, I am so thankful that I said yes and I didn't stop, because if I would have waited, my husband would have got deployed. I would have sat at home and I would not be where I am today. And that's very happy and healthy. And um, my life, I just have a lot of courage in my life and a lot of hope. So my
Do you
gut
feel
and
like it was do you feel like it was something in that room that you learned, either just like you took from somebody that was speaking, and or do you feel like it was something you learned just about yourself being in that space that makes you grateful for not being able, or for saying yes to that specific feeling?
I wouldn't necessarily say it was one person or that one event, but I would say that it was seeing all these strong, powerful women that also had a struggle like I'm going through right now. And it may not be as big as other people, but I realized that, gosh, if they can do it, so can I.
Yeah. So just surrounding yourself by people that build you up
Yes.
versus
Yep.
make you, bring you into that place of life is happening to me versus life is happening for me.
Yes. Yes. It
Okay.
got me out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
And I mean, you were a big inspiration to me as well.
Oh, thank you.
You really were. And that's why I was like, I want to be on your podcast.
So, going forth, how do you feel like you're going to continue to build upon your legacy of courage of life, as as you build your life, but as your children grow? How do you feel, or what do you feel is going to be that next best step for you?
I want to continue posting on Facebook. I want to do more podcast. I've learned to be posting on Facebook more, and I want people to be like, you know what? She is someone who is going through a hard time, and I want to look up to her. I want people to look up to me like I look up to you guys. And so
So,
if I can,
do you feel like part of your lesson, like for lack of a better word, has been then is that um there is pain in what the pain that I'm experiencing, there's purpose in it. And it's
yes,
my job, it's my um God-given duty to help other people that maybe don't see that.
yep,
I
yes,
love I love that. There's a common statement or saying that goes around that says, there's pain in your purpose. And I think a lot of people have a hard time taking that step back, like you so eloquently said, and asking, but what? How can there be purpose in this pain? What is this lesson that is being taught to us? And I would encourage listeners, if you're in a chapter, a season where there's just a lot happening, a lot going on, and you don't understand the why, is to really reframe your thoughts and ask yourselves, is life happening for me or to me? Because as long as we put ourselves in that victim role of to me, it's happening to me, why do I never get a break? Why is it always things happening to me? You attract more of what you focus on. But if we ask ourselves, how is this happening for me? What is this trying to teach me? What is the lesson? What am I coming out of this better as? You are the victor, and you will begin to attract more of that same. So I love that you brought that up, and we can share that with the guests. So where can people find you if they're looking more for Sadie?
on my
Facebook.
Facebook and my Instagram. I do also have a TikTok, but honestly, that is mainly my animals. I don't know if you want to see that, but it mainly is like my raccoons, my emus, my horses. So,
So
but
just
my
Sadie Eversole.
Sadie Eversole. Yep.
Yep. Okay. And I'll have those linked into the show notes. So I ask all of my guests, what is the definition of courage? And you told me that courage is not the absence of fear, but choosing to move forward with faith and strength despite it.
Yes.
So, Sadie, I cannot thank you enough for being on. And until next time, guests, I will see you again.
Sounds great. Thank you so much for having me.